You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog balls confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nub. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still life of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Key, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
I'm talking about Shabaka going crazy. People going crazy in these motherfuckers. Run that shit back, man.
But it means nothing. Nothing about a woman on a day. Man made the car. Man made the train to carry the heavy load. Man made the electrolyte to take us out of the dark. Man made the boat for the water. Let the seven know me now. Man thinks about a little bit of baby girl and a baby boy. And man makes them happy because man makes them joy. But after man make everything we can, do you know that man makes money? To buy from other men. This is a man's world.
Computer decided to freeze up right when the show was supposed to start. I'm gonna get it direct connected. Shabaka, I'm here. The damn computer decided to freeze up right when the show was scheduled to start. Sorry, y'all. Grand rises, grand rises. Apologize for the technical difficulties. Right when I was to start the show, the damn computer started to freeze up. Tuning into Season 9, Episode 24 of Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase, where we will be discussing Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase Presidential Debate Edition on the Season 9, Episode 24 of Shabaka's Black Experience Events. We'll be discussing several things. The first thing, we'll be discussing these crazy political times that we are in. Try to get Shabaka back on the line. Always freezing up. All back in, Shabaka. We would once again love for you Cop Mala sexuals and Cop Mala supporters to call in and tell us why we should vote for her in November, since you love to troll our social media pages. Please call in with your questions, comments, and concerns. The call-in number is 516-418-5. Call back in, Shabaka. 599 on the air for the 18 years of age. And this is so. Yes, this episode will also be simulcasted on StreamYard, Facebook, YouTube. Okay, call back in. Grand Rising, Shabaka. I'm sorry, when the show started down, my computer decided to freeze. Started, but we're here. So, Grand Rising from the Mile High Income City.
Okay, I could play.
Can you hear me now? Probably TV. Call back in. What we want to hear from you. Why we spoke Kamala Harris in November, and don't say anybody but the Orange Man. That shit is beyond played out and ridiculous. You have a specific policy that we should be looking at opposed to the dump as in human shit. And we want to make that perfectly clear. Cornel West or anybody else that's running for president right now, Jill Stein, Chase Oliver. We really like to hear from the Kamala sexualists. I love to troll our social media pages telling us that we're dump supporters, even though we are not dump supporters. We don't give a damn about the dump as in human shit, and we want to make that perfectly clear. But around here, we give credit where credit is due. And he's right. This is illegal immigration not out of control. And you Democrats are just keep allowing this. You're allowing them to flood our cities. You're allowing them to take our jobs. You're allowing us to take our housing. We're getting displaced. We already had gentrification going on. We already had a rampant unhoused neighbor homeless problem. And these Democrats are just exacerbating the issue. So we'd really like to hear from y'all. So please call in. Again, the number is 516-418-5996. Plus one of you be live on the air. Okay, I'm going to try to bring Shabaka back on. Is that you, Shabaka?
Greetings.
Greetings. Can you sound much clearer? Okay. Go ahead, Shabaka.
Yeah, it's me, but you're crackling real bad. You know, it sounds like we got a bad hookup. But
it's probably the internet, Shabaka. Again. So much go on.
Okay. Alrighty. So anyway, as you know, man, they still got these rallies going on. You know, for the upcoming election and what have you.
Is that the one and only Sarge?
Is Sarge on there? Sarge is on them. Bring them on.
Yeah, I'm on, man. You sound real good, clear. Jay is god awful hard, static, distorted, broken up. That's why I just called in and I hung up. Said maybe I had a bad connection, so I called in. I hung up, called back. You're clear. He's terrible.
I know.
Okay, all right. Well,
it's
Sarge,
the connection where I'm at, Sarge.
Yeah, he said his internet connection. He has a bad connection on the internet connection.
Well, it's almost unreadable. I can't think of her. I think at every other word.
Okay, well, Sarge, I got good news for you, Sarge. You're going to love this. You should be in Las Vegas today because that idiot that you endorse so much is going to be coming up here talking gibberish in the great city of Las Vegas. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man, if people are hiding all their dogs and cats, man, based on his reasoning and what have you.
Why would they hide it from him? He's the one trying to warn you about it. Maybe you ought to have the people let the Haitians in the playing field.
In first place, Sarge, the Haitian diet don't deal with dogs and cats, sir. No. Haitian diets don't deal with that, you say. And
like
then...
The ducks and geese in public park, if they allowed to be unmolested, they do like that. There's not much doubt about that. There are Haitians that are taking the ducks and geese for, an afternoon treat.
Oh, Sarge, oh my gosh. You know,
I'm trying to understand why all this fur over the cats and whatnot. And, okay, it's arguable as to whether or not they're taking people's pets, cats. I'm going to just put it all together so I get some definitive on it. But how about the guy who smashed into the bus and killed a man's child, and the man says he wishes it had been a 60-year-old white man. Now, he didn't say, if my child had to die, I would have preferred it was a 60-year-old white man rather than a Haitian immigrant. No, this mind virus wrecked fool, and that's what I'm trying. I know he's breathing, but he's a fool saying anything like that. I wish my son had been killed by a 60-year-old white man. I'm quoting. That's what he said. He wishes his son had been killed by a 60-year-old white man.
All right, can y'all hear me now?
Sick about leftism and progressivism.
Yeah, we'll hear you a little better.
Actually killed his son. He goes in for fantasy about who he wishes had done it. It's mad.
Oh my gosh, Sarge. Well, Sarge, it's insanity. Insanity has become normalcy.
Hello?
Okay. Yeah,
yes,
I'm
we
here.
can hear you, Sarge.
Yeah, but Sarge.
My Bluetooth kick does that a couple times. There it goes again. Hold on.
Yeah, you're going in and out, Sarge.
Okay, so did you hear what I said about that? I mean, it's crazy. This is something about
leftism.
It's like some kind of mind virus, man. It's like a mind virus.
It really is, Sarge.
Reasoning altogether.
I never thought I would agree with Sarge, but I have to agree with Sarge on this. Like, this shit is ridiculous. Like,
how can you think that to say such a thing about your child? A 60-year-old white man did not kill his son. A Haitian immigrant who didn't have a driver's license, who was driving illegally, aside from probably being an illegal alien too, was the one who ran in the school bus, ejected his son from the bus, and caused him to die.
Okay, Sarge, what's the driver's license?
What do you mean,
what is it?
Yeah, what is the driver's license? The only thing I know is...
The driver's license is the device adopted by every single state in the union that certifies, according to the state, you meet the basic requirements of being able to drive in that state or in another state with whom the state has a compact, and you meet the requirements of knowing the rules of the road and the minimum standards of handling a motor vehicle. That's all it's signifies.
Okay, now, Sarge, under the full faith and credit clause, okay, where all the state documents are supposed to be honored by all the other 50 states, Sarge, okay, it's just a way for the state to gain revenue. The same thing with automobile registration, okay? Then you got these pimps out here called insurance companies.
So you're saying that Haitian driver's license. Is this your ultimate point? Because you're opposed to the concept of driver's licenses, which may or may not be something worthy of discussion. The point of the matter is that right now there are many myriad ways that this, frankly, often criminal state extorts money from its citizens. One of them happens to be driver's licenses. Why do you want a single driver's license out?
Okay, well, Sarge, not only is the state pimping you with a driver's license, it's also pimping you, man, with auto insurance. It's also pimping you with stuff like AAA. You see what I mean? Okay, which AAA.
Who is the most powerful in the constitutional order? What is the single most? Wait a minute. What is the single most powerful element in the constitutional order?
Oh, well, Sarge, the only thing I could say is that they say that the people who had the right to govern the nation and things of that nature right there, you know, the garbage they write, we the people.
You got it. You know, I ask this question to a lot of people, and a lot of people will say the federal government, and Shabaka, you got it. We the people is the most important element of the constitutional government. Thank you. Now that you answered my question, if you answer the question correctly, now it is up to the people in the states to decide whether or not they want to tell their representatives we don't want to have the requirement of driver's license in our state. They can do that. There's nothing that will prohibit the people exercising their collective will through their representatives, saying, hey, we want you to repeal the laws in the legislature on driver's license. Now, if you can't convince enough representatives to get it done, then it won't be done until you elect a sort of representatives who will do it.
Okay, but Sarge,
in the meantime, it's the law. In the meantime, it's the law.
Okay, but Sarge, tell me this here, Sarge. I'm very, very curious about this. Why is it that a lot of these representatives and U.S. senators, man, are getting arrested along with former presidents?
Because a lot of them are crooks, for God's sake. How can you think of a better way to get away with things that if you did as a private citizen, you get go to jail for?
Okay, now, Sarge.
I mean, this is what I say. This is why the rarest thing in politics is being able to elect people who have genuine integrity. Now, if you get people with genuine integrity, which is admittedly rather rare, but if you can find them, then you won't have to worry about that kind of thing.
Right.
Okay, Sarge. Okay, now, Sarge, let me tell you something.
There's some of them out there, by the way. Look to them for the example of the kind of person you want to get elected, rather than somebody who's going to promise you the sun, the moon, and the stars in order to get their ass elected.
Sarge.
You know, like reparations or something, maybe?
Like myself, Sarge.
Is the only damn issue that should be concerning the U.S. Congress to pay our people, man, of all this free labor, getting killed, murdered, and all that, castrated, lynched, you know what I'm saying? Like the former heavyweight champion says, no, we are not brothers, okay? Because brothers don't go out there and take brothers and hang them on trees and cut off their private parts and put it in their mouth. Them ain't brothers, man.
Come a long way from driver's license now. All of a sudden, whether or not I hate you, have a driver's
Sarge.
Somebody got
the thing that I'm talking about, Sarge, is hypocrisy, Sarge. Okay. Now you got
somebody
this
has
orange
background
idiot
noise
out here in Sin City today. Then you got JD. Okay, now the orange dude is in Sin City today. He's in the proper place. So hopefully that the city of Las Vegas will do the right thing, since the orange idiot is right here. Say, hey, orange idiot, guess what? We got bad news for you, but great news for us. To start having a wrecking ball today. Bounce off that building that has his name on it. You see, that'd be such a great public service, all right. Okay, because the man is ill, Sarge. Yeah,
Shabaka, you got background noise. Somebody got the TV on or something in the background.
Okay, hold on. I got the idiot box on right here.
Yeah, okay. Well, you're a little bit better there, Che. Your connection's a little bit better now. But I'm still got static.
Yeah, you're still crackling, Che, but
you're readable at least.
Yeah. Okay. Now, me myself, what I'm getting ready to do, Sarge, is get up here, go get my morning coffee, because I know arguing with you, man, you know what I'm saying? It's
no argument. You present your point of view, I present mine. It's not really an argument. I mean, you know, different points of view.
Okay, well, let's say,
Why you say it's an argument? I'm not arguing.
Okay, well, let's say, Sarge,
I'm responding to what I hear you say.
Okay, Sarge, and I dig and appreciate all that. Okay.
And we still
Now,
want you cop
first
molesexuals
of
to
all,
call in. Where the hell are y'all at? Y'all love to troll our social
yeah,
media.
well, who knows? They probably out wearing pants, suits, and tennis shoes, brother
Where
Jay.
y'all gonna come call in and defend your ski Sawyer, you damn boule. Where the hell are y'all at?
Yeah, and then also too, they say that thousands of people are registered to vote, you know, via Taylor Swift's Instagram account. Okay, talking about she's back in Kamala. You know what I mean?
She done made all these songs
and
about
then,
her making the wrong choice.
Riddle me this, Sarge. Okay, now riddle me this here, Sarge. Why are long-term Republicans such as Dick and Liz Cheney, your former vice president, the CEO of Halliburton, and I passed the Halliburton Corporation out here in the middle of the damn desert between here and Utah. And this place is all out by itself. Railroad trains are going in there, man, and it is humongous. They say Kamala, okay? And then, and the cold part about it is, I remember in the great state of Wyoming when Liz Cheney got up there and spoke some sense at the beginning of this fiasco. She says it's no longer possible. No, it's not possible to defend the indefensible. What this man is crazy. He is out of his mind. Stormy Daniels might have slipped some stuff on him, or he needs to quit smoking that shit or sipping it or whatever it is that he does, because the man is irrational. Now, the man gets up here and says, Sarge, he compared it to our favorite subject of boxing. He says when a boxer gets knocked out, the first thing he wants is a rematch. He asks for a rematch. I think Kamala says, go by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, see if they'll sanction the bout. Okay, but why would this guy says that he is all this and say all that, and then indirectly announces that he was defeated in the debate? Okay.
No, first of all, Shabaka, you got it twisted. The loser is the one that demands.
You know what I think this might be, and I don't know if it is or not, but I think it could be this. Look, Donald Trump knows that debate with ABC was rigged. He was really debating three people there, and you know damn well he was.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't debating one, he was debating three. He didn't fact check that lie in Biatch once. She told 25 lies, 26 lies now. Now we know it's 26. They didn't fact check her once. They fact checked him 4 times.
Fact checker.
All right, so look, so he understands right now, wherever he shows up, he's likely to have it rigged against him. Okay, so Kamala Harris is now going to act like she wants to debate again. Don't throw me back in that Briar Patch, Briar Rabbit. Briar Fox. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then jump this. I got it. I get it. Okay. I can set the rules. So it's not so damn biased against it. Now, I don't know if that's a strategy or not, and I'm not saying it is. I'm saying if I was him, that's the strategy I would use.
Oh, my. Okay, Sarge, just admit that this whole shenanigans is just that. A bunch of shenanigans.
There ain't no way she won the debate. The best you could say it was a draw and it didn't change anybody's minds. But toward the end of that debate, he was getting in them shots. He was getting in liver and kidney shots, and she was clearly rattled by it. And what she wasn't able to do with her little scripted responses that didn't say anything about her policies, and Trump started digging away at her utter contradictions and her flip-flop and lies. She was clearly rattled.
Yes, she was.
Okay, Sarge. Now let me ask you this: when they score the fight? Okay, when they score the fight,
still got background
do you know
noise.
how they score the fight?
Yeah, I know they score fights. I've been watching the long. Effective aggression is one of the metrics they use to determine whether or not you won a round. Was your aggression effective, even if you didn't land any telling blows on your opponent?
Okay, but Sarge, you are with the 10-point must system, are you not?
Yeah, what about it? Not everybody uses the 10-point must system either.
Okay, Sarge.
Not in every boxing federation.
Okay, it all depends on what state you're in. Okay.
That's right.
Now, Sarge, for some odd reason, man, when you call, I got to go get coffee, and I see my damn mirror's been adjusted right here. Some bastard hit my mirror.
Ooh.
Okay. No, it went back.
Certified out there any Haitians in the neighborhood.
No, Sarge, I don't see any Haitians out here, Sarge. No, I don't see Henry Desolé.
You know, only about 2% of people in Haiti have driver's licenses.
Okay, well, Sarge, once again.
I mean, why would you expect they come in and all of a sudden they're told they ain't got to have driver's license, they going to drive well?
Well, Sarge, I drove my first 4 years without a damn driver's license until I got stopped by the Los Angeles Police Department.
Yes, but automobile ownership and familiarity with motor vehicles is the hallmark of American society. It's not a hallmark of Haitian society.
I see. Okay, now, Sarge, keep
and
in mind.
You can't say that it is, because it damn sure ain't.
Okay, but hold on, Sarge. Now, one thing about yours truly right here, I've never carried a fucking car note before in my life. The reason being, because I was not going to get overpriced finance for 5-6 years on any of these pieces of shit that are designed with planned obsolescence. Why do you think they put all
I agree with you on that one, man. I ain't never bought a new car in my life because I'm a mechanic anyway, and I just get a 3-year-old car and make sure it's running right. I rebuild everything on it. It's been running like new for me for years, so I decided to get another one.
Okay, well then maybe I need to make a trip to see you, Sarge, you know, to overhaul this vehicle I got. Now here, ladies and gentlemen,
bring you down there, bring your ass on down there. I got everything we need in my garage, rebuild engine, transmission, whatever needs to be done.
Now you ain't gonna have me coming up missing up there in one of them swamps like Emmett Till and all that old good stuff.
Well, look, man, I ain't gonna babysit you. I mean, you wind up with that. Look, you don't take proper precautions. You can wind up anywhere and get head up.
Okay, then maybe it sounds like to me I need to bring my damn guns with me, man. Does that make sense?
Well, that's why we have a Second Amendment of the United States Constitution. Ain't that beautiful?
That's right. That's right. Now, Sarge, your man is in Vegas today. Call him up. Have him do the right thing because I'm tired of seeing this fucking eyesore here with his name on it, man, and they need to start bouncing a wrecking ball off of it. It will be a great improvement, Sarge, for the environment. You know, he's toxic. The whole campaign is toxic. You're out of order, Judge. The whole trial is out of order. The son of a bitch needs to go right straight to fucking jail to retain the integrity and that hypocritical ass document called the U.S. Constitution.
Man, you know something, the more he's talking Shabaka, the more it is likely you're going to vote for the don't.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Man.
You don't have to admit it, man. I could tell you could see through the BS of the demon rats and his lying biatch they put up there undemocratically, ignoring the votes of 14 million Democrats in the primary. Now, I know you can see through all of that. Whatever flaws Donald Trump has, and he has many, but I'm going to tell you one thing that's not a flaw of his, that is consistency. He's been saying the same things he's saying today for at least 44 years. You go back and look at the archive for you. He ain't changed his positions on most important things hardly at all.
The only thing he changed. Hold on, Sarge.
Look at Kamala Harris, man.
Sarge.
Every microsecond, she's flipping and flopping like a beached fish.
I agree.
Okay, Sarge. Like I told you, Sarge.
The only thing he changed was
Kamala Harris was to part the Red Sea for you, Sarge. You would be the first one to dive in behind Willie Brown, behind, you know, other individuals. You know what I'm saying?
How do you know I ain't already been there? I just ain't willing to fess up to it.
Well, Sarge, you don't get no argument from me.
I mean, I might as well join the crowd.
Yeah, well, she probably likes crowd too.
And Willie,
you know what?
Who else gets curry favor for her?
Let's see, Willie Brown. Okay.
Montel Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, Montel Williams.
Yeah, Montel Williams, yeah.
Oh, Dougie Fresh Emhoff.
Damn, boy, it sounded like she was having her a good night that night. They were just passing her all over the place, huh?
You know, hey, whatever it takes to get ahead, and I mean literally, whatever it takes to get ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she did that there too. Okay,
Yeah, well, look, that's what she's famous for. That she got caught. Somebody walked in her on Will. That's how the whole story got caught. Got the knee pad error. That's how it got started. She was observed. She was observed in a public place.
Okay, well, she was bobbing and weaving. Okay, well, what can we say?
That's how you think the story got started.
Yeah. Hey, my man, how you doing? Let me get to him. Okay. Okay. Yeah, mute me out for a second, brother. Check
and now, have you heard now the story about ABC giving the questions to Trump ahead of time? We know they did it with Donna Brazile back with Obama.
You mean they gave Kamala the questions ahead of time?
Of course, they didn't tell. Lindsay Davis didn't tell nobody, neither did ABC, that they were sorority sisters. And I know they weren't in the sorority at the same time. They're like 13 years apart. But she bragged about the fact that her and Kamala Harris were sorority sisters, and they didn't disclose it. Now, I'm not saying they were sorority sisters at the same time. They weren't sorority sisters at the same time. But she bragged about it and didn't disclose it. See, that's another conflict of interest when these lying, no good leftist progressives. They lie and they deceive and they keep stuff away from you that is pertinent to your knowing whether or not they have a bias. When they don't fact check one and they fact check the other.
Right, you're right, Sarge. And they're not progressive, they're regressive. Ain't nothing progressive about these policies these mothers want to keep implementing. It's all regression. But they keep talking about that Donald Trump is going to bring us back. No, Kamala Harris is going to bring us back. It's like Sleepy Joe Biden. With the projection.
And I tell you, a lot of people want to be brought back to low inflation. Even now, when they talk about the inflation rate is down, it's still over twice as high as it was under Trump. It's still twice as high. They want the lower food prices. They want the lower fuel prices. A lot of people want to go back to that. I do.
Right. I do too. This is ridiculous. The cost of everything is ridiculously high.
People act like they ain't been in office for 3.5 years. Who was in office if they was?
And then you know what kills me, Sarge? They act like the vice president has no power. The vice president can't do nothing.
Okay, Shay, remember what she boasted about? She boasted about being the last person in the room with Joe Biden in the Afghanistan withdrawal. I would like to point out to you, gentlemen, and to your listening audience, that the areas where the President of the United States has the most authority without having to consult anyone else is in military operations and foreign policy. Now, that's where you really want to look to see what the president's métier is, what the president's strengths are. Because the president who is able to do that is able to exercise to the maximum extent the most important powers that they have, that is singularly given to them by the Constitution. He ain't got to do much consulting with Congress other than to bring back a treaty that they're willing to ratify. But all the negotiation, all that stuff, it's entirely the president. When it comes to military operations, it's 100% the president. No one else can give orders to troops. Nobody in Congress can give orders to troops as how to deploy, what times the operation orders are set up for, whether or not they even go along with an agreement that wasn't ratified by the Senate that a previous president had worked out with whoever you're going up against. Like
Sarge.
That Doha agreement with the Taliban, none of it bound Joe Biden. He could completely throw away the deal and negotiate his own terms. But instead, he's going to try to blame it on Donald Trump. Donald Trump negotiated a bad deal for him. Bullshit. But even if that's true, he didn't have to stick with it. He could have made his own plan.
Okay, now, Sarge.
So when these people say these things, they need to be called out instantaneously for their mendacity and their lying. They need to be called out instantly.
Okay, but Sarge, when you look at politicians, when you look at these lawyers in these kangaroo courts, when you look at these lying-ass businessmen that telling you they're doing all this good crap for society, but they're lying in their fucking pockets, all of them is a bunch of goddamn crooks and deserve to go right straight to fucking jail.
Well, okay, but that still begs the question. We're talking about very specifics here in time for the November 5th election. We're talking about how Trump would have likely handled the Afghanistan withdrawal and how Joe Biden, in fact, did handle the Afghanistan withdrawal, which included leaving $86 billion of first-line military hardware in the hands of a terrorist entity called the Taliban. Now, as a matter of fact, that's what occurred. And I'm telling you right now, Donald Trump would not have handled that withdrawal anything like the way the Biden administration did. Probably nobody would have gotten killed. The normal tactical procedures would have been followed, and there would not have been an opportunity for a suicide bomber to detonate a personnel-borne IED right at the perimeter, which wasn't cleared and wasn't secured, didn't have a safe zone area. It was insane. Everything about this was tactically wrong. I mean, every single mistake you can make was made. And it was all Joe, and the general said later, it was all the way Joe Biden wanted it done. And to their great disgrace, none of those generals resigned because they knew they should not have been given orders like that, and they should have resigned in protest after that thing was over to make a point of honor.
Okay, now, Sarge. Now, why don't you ask old JD? You know, he's a former Marine, a former jarhead. You see, and to see what he has to say about that. Now,
he said what I said pretty much. You just ain't heard him.
Okay, now, Sarge.
He's been saying it ever since he's been a senator before. Because remember, that is the president's bailiwick. Congress can't tell him a damn thing about how to deploy his troops.
Okay, well, the president is the commander-in-chief. Okay, now, I would like to see one of these damn presidents rather fist the dump as in human shit. And I want to make that perfectly clear, by the way. Or Kamala Harris, you know, to go up there and say, you know what, folks, before we start any other business of the usual ratchetness, the hypocrisy, the bigotry, the corporate greed of the normal functions of the United States of America, we got to cut this reparations check for these colors, okay? Now, the reason why we need the reparations check for these colors, because we got to recognize the fact that without us abusing them and free labor and what have you, at least 5 major markets that survive in the United States today will not exist off of their free labor. And I don't give a good goddamn of what any of these ass-scratching, chicken-pecking Uncle Toms will say about it, and they're welcome to call the fucking number in, too. 516-418-5996. Press 1, and we'll be able to hear you live on the air.
Well, again, now see, you talk about something that the president's got to get Congress to cooperate. They just can't decree reparations. That's a budgetary expenditure. All spending by the federal government must originate in the House of Representatives, or have you not read the Constitution? Let me say it again. All federal spending has to originate in not just in the Senate or in Congress, but specifically in the House of Representatives. So the president can't decree reparations for you. He's got to work with Congress on it.
Okay, but hold on, though, Sarge. Now, the Congressional Black Caucus which is nothing more than a 21st century minstrel show. You know what I'm saying? The jigaboos and all that old type of shit that started early Hollywood, right over there in that ragged ass city, 400 miles. Well, how far is LA from here, Chair? 275 miles.
275.
Oh, right, Sarge, you're gonna love this. By the way, folks. Okay, hopefully it got Gavin Newsom's no good ass as well too. Los Angeles got hit
with an earthquake
up this morning. Yeah,
was it this morning or yesterday morning?
Is it still there?
Yes, it's still there, Sarge.
I'm still seeing smog coming in from the west side. Yeah, and that there.
Well,
it's on fire.
Go ahead, man. I was just hoping it might not be there no more.
You know, I'm hoping that it'll break off into the Pacific Ocean. And then right here, you would have the coast of Nevada. You know what I'm saying? You know, where the Raiders could sail the ship.
Oh, my God.
The
traders.
The ship
The traders. You talking about the Gators? You talking about the Gators?
No, sir. We're pirates, sir. We
Gators.
sell the ship on dry land out here. And believe me, you got nothing but dry land out here.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think you got much to worry about in the form of crocodiles and gators in California. I don't think they got many.
No, that's what we
down
call
in
them.
your neck of
You
the
got to worry
woods,
about great
Sarge.
white sharks.
That's what we call them, Sarge.
The Pacific is full of them, Sarge. And, you know, and then what they need to do, Sarge, like I said, okay. So what they need to do is go over there to San Francisco Bay, Sarge, okay? And they need to reopen
Shabaka,
Alcatraz.
they said that
and
San
make it the
Francisco is
Western
the
headquarters of the White House, okay? And then whoever wins this friggin' election, whatever, okay, they could run office from over there and be in jail at the same time. You know what I mean?
I might be down with that. That sounds like it's not that bad an idea. At least at least if they were at the White House and Alcatraz, it could serve as a reminder where they might wind up if they don't toe the line.
Yeah, well, Sarge, that's precisely my point, okay? Is all of them belong in jail, Sarge, okay? And starting with the orange dude. Now, what they could do with the orange dude, the feds
they
go
keep
over
dismissing
Man,
charges.
come on now, Shabaka. Now,
Shabaka,
look at all
they
the
keep dismissing
investigations
the charges
on this
against
man.
him.
5 major investigations from the federal government, and look at what all they could come up with on him. He's got to be the cleanest president in the history of the United States. If this is all they got on him to charge him with after all these investigations and indictments and everything else.
Sarge, you trying to tell me
He's got to be the cleanest man ever to be president of the United States.
Okay, Sarge, should he mean that in jest? The man is
No, I'm serious.
He's
Look at how many millions of dollars they've spent indicting and investigating Donald Trump. And it's all they come up with. He made some kind of accounting, bookkeeping error, a non-disclosure agreement they elevated to a federal offense.
34 times, Sarge?
That he called in a semi-public conversation with the Secretary of State of Georgia about what he believed was a fraudulent election, and he cited evidence after evidence after evidence after evidence after evidence as why he believed it was so. He come up with his president of the United States, and he takes with him while he's still president classified documents that he has the absolute authority to classify anytime he wants while he is president. And he went to before the audience in the ellipse of the Capitol and told them to go down to Congress and peacefully and patriotically let their grievances known to Congress. And it's all they got after all of that? Oh, please, don't you dare tell me this guy is a crook compared to anybody else. Nobody else could have withstood this kind of scrutiny without 100 serious charges against them.
Okay, now, Sarge, I'm going to tell you something. I know you love Trump.
That's all you got? You ain't got nothing else than this?
Okay, Sarge, but the dude got convicted. He's a 34-time convicted fucking felon, Sarge.
He's not a convicted felon until the judge enters a finding of guilty. His judge has. Will you stop saying that? Why would you be accurate and say a jury rendered a verdict of guilty? The process is not complete until the judge formally accepts the finding of the jury and the judge enters a finding of guilty.
Sarge. Now,
it's not a technicality. It's a fact.
Sarge. Okay, Sarge. I've been through many kangaroo courts. I've been through many of these kangaroo courts, Sarge. Every time that I saw somebody, man, with their blue jumpsuit on that says LA County Jail on it, right? Okay. And then when they say he's convicted, the judge says, bailiff, take him into custody. They hook him, throw him right back there on the jail.
Well, did that happen with Donald Trump? I got to keep asking. Did that happen with Donald Trump? No. So he ain't
it should have. But it should have.
Well, that's your opinion. The point
yet.
of the matter is it hasn't happened yet. So what you're saying is a wish fulfillment. It ain't happened. Now, is it likely to happen? Yeah, Shabaka, yeah. The Democrats are going to derail his campaign by any means possible, and one good way to derail it would be to inhibit his ability to campaign by putting him in jail on for some form of supervised house detention. Okay? So is it likely he's going to be convicted? Yes, Shabaka, it is likely. It ain't happened yet. And I'm going to keep saying that because it hasn't happened yet.
Okay, Sarge. So you won't be happy until they got Trump in his jail suit, you know what I'm saying, in his jumpsuit, in handcuffs, on a chain gang, on a prison bus going to the slammer, right?
Shabaka,
I will not say he is a convicted felon until the judge enters a finding of guilty. Judge Marchand has not yet done that.
Sarge.
That's what I said, and I still say it again.
Sarge. 12 jurors in the great state of New York, the Empire State, where he's from, where he ran his crooked businesses, convicted this dude of 34 counts.
Okay, no argument from me, Shabaka. Why did you say that?
Okay,
Why did you say he's a convicted felon? Why did you say that? We wouldn't be arguing right now.
Because he got convicted of 34 felonies.
A jury entered a finding of guilty. I got to keep telling you that he's not yet a convicted felon.
Sarge. The dude is a convicted felon, 34 counts. Then Sarge, when he goes up there and was being questioned about his criminal activity, the man repeats up there 35 times, I decline to answer that question on the grounds that it might incriminate me. And they said, okay, they asked him the next question.
Wait a minute, no, he didn't take the stand. He didn't take the stand during the...
Okay, no, he didn't, you know.
He didn't take
smart enough. He was stinking up the courtroom.
Fifth Amendment.
He was stinking up the courtroom, Sarge.
But he didn't take the stand and testify.
No, he was falling asleep.
Why would you say that?
He wouldn't take the stand even if he couldn't take the stand anyway. He was passing out in the courtroom and stinking up the place.
All right, but I'm saying, but Shabaka talked about it like he actually invoked the Fifth Amendment like Mark Furman did. No, he didn't do that.
Okay, Sarge. Okay, he did, Sarge. Him and Furman should be sharing the same cell, man, because that's all. They got a lot in common. You see what I'm saying?
Furman was found to have perjured himself about the N-word, not about anything he did at the scene of the crime. Nobody could find he did anything wrong there, even if you think he did.
Sarge.
What he got was for perjury about using a specific word that he was asked under oath in the courtroom. That's what they got him for. They didn't get down to anything like that. They didn't take the stand.
Sarge, I remember his testimony like it was yesterday, over 30 years ago.
Okay, well, you agree with what I just said or not? Do you agree with what I just said or not? They didn't get him for anything he did at the crime scene at where O.J. took the list. They got him for perjury about a word.
Sarge, like to quote the exact words of Mark Furman on the tape that he was being interviewed to write a book about. He says, the way how we interrogate niggas is like this. We get 5 niggas. We beat the first nigga. We beat the second nigga. Once again, we beat the first nigga. We beat the third nigga. Then the way that we beat the second nigga. The fourth nigga is gonna tell us what we wanna know. Then the fifth nigga is gonna confirm what we know. You know how many damn people I know in Los Angeles that went through that?
That was a movie.
What movie?
Yeah. Colors.
The one, the screenplay he was trying to shop.
The what?
Screenplay he was trying to shop. When he had that interview with that woman who was writing a book about it. And she was one of the cops she was interviewing for a book about it. And he was one of the cops she interviewed. And he was talking, and she wrote in the book about what he wrote in the screenplay he was trying to shop to Hollywood.
Now, you are aware of the fact, Sarge. Okay, Sarge, you are aware of the fact that Hollywood
wait a minute. Well, let me ask you a question. Does the very thing you just said, does that sound like the way you think LAPD detectives talk about black people when they're getting them ready for a rugged interrogation?
Yes.
What's your complaint?
Most definitely, that's what the LAPD does,
Sarge.
Sarge. Let me explain
answer my question, please. I mean, in other words, he's writing a screenplay that brings to light the very things you're complaining about, and now you're complaining about Adam for being honest about it.
Now, Sarge, The most honest thing.
Would you just deal with what I just said and don't pass over it?
Okay,
what is your
Sarge.
beef if that's what he did?
Okay, Sarge, what he should have did was learn from one of his co-workers by the name of Sergeant Stacy Coon and state, I have no recollection of that incident, although you're witnessing a man getting beat 52 times.
No, even the defense admitted it was a fictional story. They wanted to know if he ever used the term in any context.
I'm sure he has,
Sarge.
Sarge.
Understood what he's talking about, a fictional instance in a screenplay.
Sarge. Let me tell you something.
And that was the question that was put to him. And he said, no, he never had. Now, clearly, if he writes a screenplay where he's got the words in there dozens of times, that can't be true. That's why he got caught up in perjury. But even you will admit, even you just admitted that LAPD detectives say those things about black men on occasion, probably more than just on occasion, according to you. So then what is your complaint about him saying it in real life?
Okay,
if he's revealing the truth about LAPD detectives from your point of view.
Okay, Sarge, like I told you about the man who I saw that was drunk crossing the street off of 7th Street and Central Avenue, and this dude had tied him over, and, and he went and visited with Jack Daniels, I.W. Harper, probably spoke with his old granddad, too, who was out there jaywalking. A crash unit, which is Community Resources Against Street Hoodlums, comes around the corner and told him to get his ass out the street. He makes the mistake of telling these two fine, upstanding officers of the Los Angeles Police Department, known for its integrity and corrupt-free force. He tells them two words. One starts with the letter F, and the second one starts with the letter Y, connected dots. So they casually pulled over, pulled out a 9mm on him, told him to put his hands up, which he did. They kicked him in the balls, left him in the middle of the street, and got in their car and casually drove off. Fine police work. That, sir,
so
is the
if Mark Furman had written a screenplay and had elements of the offense that you just listed in there, would you have a complaint with him doing it?
Sarge.
Well, you would please answer my question. Would you have a complaint
Sarge,
with him doing it?
this was not a screenplay. Now, let me tell you something, Sarge.
I know, and what he wrote about the the interrogation methods of LA police detectives was a screenplay.
No, Sarge. Actually, he was quite factual in their practice.
The elements of that screenplay occurred in real life as well. I'm still trying to understand what is your beef about him writing about it. How are we supposed to know about? How's the general public supposed to know about these things if nobody ever brings them to light?
Okay, Sarge. Just like the coroner who took over, the investigation when he said that something not right, in the investigation, you see, and he discovered evidence that has been
he just refused. He just refused to.
Sarge, it was not a screenplay, Sarge. You know what I mean? It's not a screenplay, okay?
No. What? See, I'm trying to narrow it back to what was about the trial was about. You keep wanting to go on with the grievances against LAPD and how you generally want them brought to light. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what you said about Mark Furman. Mark Furman got in trouble on the stand for not admitting that he had used the word nigger in another context. That's what he got in trouble for.
Okay, Sarge. Okay.
He literally didn't tell the truth. He had used the word clearly on the record in the screenplay. So he should have answered yes, but I would like to add the context in which I used it.
Okay, Sarge. What they should have done with Mark Furman is that old Judge Lancito, when Furman said that, is that Lancito should have said, bailiff, take his ass into custody, which is the Los Angeles County Sheriff.
Amendment. The judge cannot order, judge cannot order a perjury investigation based upon what comes out in the trial. Now, he could set a recommendation to the district attorney saying that I believe this man perjured himself in my courtroom, and you need to investigate this.
Okay, Sarge.
But he can't on his own. He can only put people in jail for contempt of court.
Okay, but Sarge, I've been through some of those kangaroo courts in L.A. County myself, Sarge, right? And
How
I'm
is the judge gonna find somebody guilty of perjury and that's a separate offense when he does it on the witness stand?
Okay, but
They got
Sarge.
authority to find somebody guilty on something that happens in his court. It's like if he got attacked by, say, one of the defendants in the trial, like that guy jumped over the bench and attacked that woman judge. The judge can't find him guilty. The judge can't find him guilty, even though the offense clearly occurred in the courtroom. She's got to refer a criminal charge to the district attorney, have it investigated, have him indicted, and then he goes to another judge because that would be conflict of interest for him to appear before her.
Okay,
Do you understand the way the state's supposed to work?
Okay, Sarge, when he leaped over that bench to attack the judge, the bailiffs of Clark County, Nevada, completely and thoroughly issued him an ass whooping right there in the courtroom.
And they put him in jail, didn't they? But the judge didn't make no finding him guilty, did she? The judge can't. That'd be a conflict of interest for her to find him guilty. Just like when Mark Berman perjured himself in Lance Ito's courtroom, he can't find him guilty of perjury.
Sarge, that dude, man, was facing 10 years in a Nevada State Penitentiary. Right now, they enhanced his sentence. Then you know damn well, Sarge, after they got him out of the courtroom, and got him back off in the back room, they're going into the holding cell.
Changing the subject.
Okay, Sarge, you know that the night stick
I don't know what they did. If you have evidence of what they did, why don't you tell me? I know what I saw him do on the video.
Okay, here's my evidence, Sarge. Past experience, okay, those who I know who are subjugated to this. You see what I'm saying? Then not to mention the fact that too, Sarge, you know, they isolated him. And then quite naturally, of course, you know, maybe one of the bailiffs was fucking the judge, you know, and that
boy, you really do go far afield in these things.
And then went on and told him, you know what I'm saying, put some more work in, you know what I'm saying? Because he tried to attack me and all that. You know, the typical Karen syndrome, Sarge, that led to so many black men.
The courtroom and started wailing on her. What do you mean Karen syndrome? We saw it in real time.
Okay, Sarge. Okay, Sarge. Okay. You know that the bailiffs who was
Karen syndrome. She was attacked in a courtroom.
Sarge. And then those bailiffs went up there and they put some work upside his dome with the nightstick. They probably hit him with the taser. And then, of course, Sarge, you know, man, that when they get the suspect out of the public view, that's when they really put the work in on him. Okay, Sarge. Just like
I don't know about that. If you got any evidence, let me know. I know what I saw in my own eyes. I saw a criminal attack on a judge in a courtroom. That's what I saw.
Okay.
And I know this much, that even though we've got visual evidence, direct evidence from dozens of eyewitnesses who saw it happen in real time, my point was the judge couldn't find him guilty and sentence him like you just said the judge should have done with Mark Berman. You understand? That's not the way it works.
Sarge. All that this sounds like a kangaroo hopping all over the place.
Rather than deal with what I said, you went to this another exposition about police brutality.
Sarge, the police brutality against black people in the United States of America, Sarge, is just as common as the common cold. Okay? Just as common. All right. Can we
revisit what we were talking about originally?
It's just as American as Africa.
Okay, Sarge. The dump is in Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying?
Good. There we go. Now we're back on track. Excellent.
Okay. The dump is in Los Angeles, and they out there in Rancho Palos Verdes, California, which is a fine, exclusive area of Los Angeles. And I believe the jazz great Nancy Wilson used to live up there in Rancho Palos Verdes, Sarge. You know what I mean? Got an excellent view of the Pacific Ocean. You know what I mean? Okay, so the dump is probably over there seeing Stormy Daniels or a couple of ghetto gaggers, you know, sent to him by Harvey Weinstein. You know what I mean? You know, typical Los Angeles, Sarge. The dump belongs in a mental institution. Now, what they need to do with his ass right now in Los Angeles is drive up Interstate 5, take it all the way up there to Napa County, And before they go get their wine and go smoke their weed and stuff like that grows out there, is to drop the dump off at the Napa Valley State Hospital.
They need to
Put
drop
them in
Newsom off there too.
a straight jacket. Yeah, then have a cellmate with Kamala. You know what I'm saying? And then they can sit down there and they can debate some more. Oh, yeah. And then need to throw Gruesome Newsom in there as well, too. And as you do know, Sarge, that Gruesome Newsom will be running for president of the United States in 2028. Okay, and Gavin Newsom belongs in jail. Sarge, the whole trial is out of order. The jury is out of order. The judge is out of order, and all three of these individuals we mentioned needs to go right straight to fucking jail. To quote Al Pacino in that classic film called And Justice for All. Now, another thing too, Sarge. You got AI, screwing over everybody's computers. You know what I'm saying? That's been hacked by the Chinese or the Russians, if not a combination of both. You see what I mean? And they want everybody to have AI to do all the internet work for them. Sarge, once again, as I quote the words of the great George Orwell that wrote a book in 1949 called 1984 with the following statement. Police guard, you will be suspicious of everyone, including everyone, and you will be prepared to give your life for the leader you've never seen, which is Big Brother. George Orwell, Sarge, had an excellent insight. Not exactly accurate.
I read that book once every 2 years to remind myself of his insights and his prescience.
I would say the man had great insight. Okay, it's because when I sit up here,
crystal ball, didn't he?
Okay, yeah, hold on, Sarge. Now, when I see these black bailiffs built like heavyweight contenders, you know what I'm saying, sitting up there just waiting for boss judge to tell them what to do, that they will pulverize the dome, shatter the larynx, break ribs of their fellow black folks talking about, you the boss, Judge. You know exactly what I need to do.
Oh, you mean like if they jump over the bench and attempt to attack the judge? Yeah, they just might do something like that. Wow, what's your problem?
Like old boy did. Like old boy recently did.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll be there. Whatever you say, Judge, let us know when we can keep him from killing you.
Okay, Sarge. That did just prove my point. You prove my point with the man hopping over the bench. Goes to show that these kangaroo courts, once again, these kangaroo courts hop from one procedure to another prepaid procedure to another prepaid procedure because the prison deliverer, commonly referred to as the public defender, the prosecutor, Sarge, and the judge, Sarge, one thing they all have in common, Sarge, and Kamala Harris has one. Barack Obama has one. Michelle Obama has one, which is called a doctorate degree of jurisprudence. Okay, so a lot of these individuals who probably took the same classes, probably went to the same after-school parties and smoked dope and committed all type of other lewd activity. You see what I'm saying? Like they did on the Barbary Coast. That's why it's called the Barbary Coast, Sarge, as in barbarians. Okay. And they sit up there and want us in the general public to sit up there that these are individuals of high morality and high moral standards where nothing could be further from the truth. Dump does not give a damn about you, Sarge. Just like the Obamas don't give a damn about me or Brother Che. Okay, like Kamala don't give a damn about all of us. Okay.
But I wouldn't be hiring him to give a damn about me. I'm hiring him to his job as chief executive of the federal government. And if he does that competently, that's good enough for me. That's all I want him to do. I'll figure out everything else on my own. He ain't responsible for my individual welfare and security.
Okay, Sarge. Now, once again, you just proved my next point. If this individual does not have my personal welfare and my best interest at stake, Why should I waste my time, get up off my raggedy ass couch, which is halfway decent, you know what I'm saying, and waste time, risk my life, you know what I'm saying, to go out here and cast a ballot for either one of them, Sarge? Why would I do that?
Shabaka, does does Nevada have mail-in ballots?
No, sir, I don't think they do. And also, too, I don't think they do. But keep in mind, though, too, is that they got a dude out here by the name of Scam Brown. They call him Sam Brown, but they call him Scam Brown. Now, I'm liable to go vote for that son bitch because he's a crook. Hopefully, he's an honest crook. You see what I'm saying? Now, honest crook, Sarge, as you know, working in the city of Chicago, Crook County, you know what I'm saying? I'm a little familiar with it. Okay. At least he's telling the truth that he's a crook and that he's a sham and a scam. Okay, so I would go out here in the memory of those that made the ultimate sacrifice, who sat at a lunch counter and begged for a cup of coffee. You see what I'm saying? So to say they will not die in vain. But all this shit, Sarge, is symbolic. The American political system, just like the American social order, Sarge, is morally bankrupt. It has no compassion. You see what I'm saying? For its fellow, quote unquote, human being. It operates off of one factor, Sarge, and one factor only. That's called greed. You see what I mean? Okay. Now, the city of Las Vegas, okay, needs to go up there, bounce the wrecking ball off of the dump building while he's in town, and then when it becomes a vacant lot, they need to declare a presidential historical landmark. And then hopefully it would have some type of decency to rebuild it to house homeless people. You see what I mean? You know, particularly women and children. Give the women and children 2 weeks in there so those babies could clean up and get decent rest and what have you. The men folk, give his ass 3 days in there. His first day to wash his ass, the next day to wash his clothes, what's left of them. 1 day to rest, and his last day in there is to make a plan of how he's going to develop his economical independence. Because sitting up here, believing in the system that does not believe in you, Sarge, that's not insanity. That is stupidity. Now, at least an insane individual may or may not be responsible. But a stupid son of a bitch is somebody, Sarge, to go out there, dumb shit, and expecting a different result for it to be positive, Sarge. This is insanity. Okay? It's downright insanity. Okay? And then on top of it, for individuals in the general public to take time out of their workday to go participate in this farce, okay, to say that your vote counts. How is it proven, Sarge, that the people's votes really do count? How do you know that some of them ballots are not being thrown out, Sarge? Just like you had down there.
I got evidence from 2020. That's exactly what happened. I already know.
Okay, well, Sarge, you should have evidence for the whole time that you was living in Crook County. You got people at the cemetery voting, Sarge.
I mean, the only question was what the degree was from election to election cycle. It was given. That wasn't anything I ever had to question.
Mm-hmm. But Sarge, rid of yourself this. Now, you're older than me, Sarge. You remember when down there in the great state of Alabama with old frog face, segregation yesterday, segregation today, segregation tomorrow, that John Lewis crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge, gets up there, gets knocked out, stretched out, talking about that is good trouble. Man, the Stockholm Syndrome is real with these house Negroes. See, the problem, Sarge, with the black politician, Sarge, is that he is a house Negro. He is not going to stand up there and say that he's a proud diasporic African. He's going to get up there with his stymie bald-headed, looking ass like Tim Scott. Oh, man, I love you.
America is not a racist
Come
country.
on, man. Man, America is not a racist country. And the thing, Sarge, that really hurts my soul is when I look at the families of those the survivors who died in the civil rights movement, who died there in the Black empowerment movement. Were all their deaths in vain, Sarge? I mean, what do you think, man, that they would say if they were alive here today? Well, a grown-ass man can go get him a rainbow flag, right? Shove it up his ass and talk about it's a sanitary napkin. Then
well, I'm telling you what I'm watching right now. I'm watching the documentary right now. I was in the process of watching it. And I remember you was on today while I was watching. It's called Freedom on My Mind. Now, you know what it's about? It's about the Freedom Summer Movement in Mississippi. Fannie Lou Hamer. Fannie Lou Hamer and all the
Fannie Lou.
Confederation United, Community United Federation or Federated Organization.
The press conference right now.
No, let's play homage to Fannie Lou Hamer. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm watching it back then, and I'm watching the ideals of the people involved in the civil rights movement. And I'm saying to myself, what a contrast from then to now. They were not crass. They were idealistic. They were dedicated. They were able to highlight true injustices and bring them to the fore. They were literally risking their lives in many cases. And it was not the civil rights movement and the civil rights organization had not been tainted by the sort of crude, crass, political and ideological convictions that they now hold. And it's such a refreshing contrast. Go back that time and watch it then as compared to now. That's why I would say everybody who is not seeing this documentary, go back and watch what the civil rights movement was when it was actually a civil rights movement. It is not that anymore.
Okay, Sarge. Now, what do you feel about the Black empowerment era, Sarge?
You mean the Black empowerment era?
Okay. The civil rights movement,
I think the biggest problem with the quote, Black empowerment, unquote, era was its affinity with Marxism. That's always problematic.
Sarge. Didn't the man say by any means necessary, Sarge?
Yep.
Yeah, well, you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater a lot of
No.
If you ally yourself with Marxists.
But Sarge. Now let me tell you something about Marxism of research that I did on that. Sarge, now here's some more cannon fodder for you. Karl Marx had stated that black folks were too ignorant and stupid and subhuman to embrace the concept of Marxism and or socialism.
Why do so many black people embrace Marxist concepts then?
Okay, hold on, Sarge. Hold on. Just like Gandhi, just like me and Brother Che talked about Gandhi, okay? Fuck Gandhi. When Gandhi went down there, yeah. When Gandhi did his thing in Azania, because the real name of the place is Azania, to quote Mama Africa, Miriam Makeba, a woman who I have the highest and utmost respect for. Okay, all righty. Gandhi, has stated that Kafirs, meaning niggas, were untouchable. Understand? Now, if Dr. King would have had that knowledge about how Gandhi really felt about Kafirs, niggas, colored folk, blacks, what have you see what I'm saying? A man of his intelligence would have rejected that bullshit. Okay, but one thing about Dr. King that I will always respect his memory for, Sarge, is that I led our people into a burning house with integration. And I'll never forget the date of April 4th, 1968, when he was assassinated, and I was only about 8 or 9 years old. Also, too, a couple of days later, I was home from school sick, and I'm watching this thing on TV where this horse and this wagon is carrying this box in it with all these black folks behind it. I'm not knowing what I'm looking at the time, Sarge, but what I had witnessed was Dr. King's funeral, okay? And then too, Sarge, then there was a presidential candidate 2 months later who was trying to get the primary because your former commander-in-chief there, Sarge, when you was in Vietnam, I got up there and said, ladies and gentlemen, I will not seek nor will I accept the nomination of my party to be president of the United States, LBJ. Okay. The same one that you saw in the movie called Forrest Gump, who wanted Forrest Gump to drop his pants and show him the crack of his ass where he got shot in Vietnam. Okay. Sorry.
You know, Forrest Gump was a fictional story. I mean, he wasn't a real character.
Okay, but one thing I did dig about the movie.
I don't think Lyndon Johnson has to see the crack of Forrest Gump's ass.
Okay, now Sarge. Okay, and the movie did, but Sarge. But one of the best scenes of the movie is where Forrest Gump was up there talking to the 37th president, who said to him, "Well, Forrest, welcome to Washington D.C. Why don't you stay for a couple of days, and I'm gonna have you over here, put you up here in this hotel. My people will take care of you." Forrest wakes up in the middle of the night, calls the front desk, and he says, "Say, fellas, there's some flashlights going on in the room over here, and y'all need to investigate." And then, of course, Sarge, as you know, that there led to the downfall of old Tricky Dick. Well, Tricky Dick got up there and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I assure the American people that I am not a crook. And a no good bastard resigned before they was going to impeach his ass. And me personally, I think the bastard would have and should have been convicted." But however, Sarge, no president going through these kangaroo courts, going through this Congressional Black Caucus where you got all the Yassa bosses, Hakeem Jeffries, Maxine Waters, the House Negroes down there. Okay, ain't did shit for the black community. Just like Eric Adams ain't shit. Just like old, what's his name? Brandon standing up there in Chicago. Like old London Bridge up there in San Francisco. Just like old Karen Bass in Los Angeles. Ain't gonna do shit, man, for their own people. But these ass scratches, Yassa boss and ass coons is gonna sit up here and come over on this fucking idiot box in the next couple of weeks, telling me to get up off of my comfortable raggedy ass couch to go out here and cast my ballot for none of these individuals who are not worth a good goddamn, Sarge. Now, you believe in the Constitution, Sarge. Me personally, I don't think it's worth the paper's written on. Use it to wipe the crack of your ass with it, okay? And if don't nobody like it, they can call in at 516-418-5996, and I'll be more than happy to debate with any of these morons that will believe in a crooked ass lying system that doesn't believe in itself. Look what the fuck you got running for president. You got a crook on one side and you got a ghetto gaggle in bed wench on the other. My.
Well, she wants to make you think she got a little ghetto in her with a little accent changes from time to time, but the woman was raised in the upper middle class.
Union member. You better take a union member.
College professor, and her mother was a medical bio researcher. She wasn't no ghetto rat.
Okay,
she was raised in an upper middle class household.
Sarge, you better take a union member. You better take a union.
Sarge.
No, I avoid toxic environments.
Okay, Sarge, I don't blame you. I've been through Berkeley many a time, Sarge. You know what I'm saying? It's not an upper class town, Sarge. No. At best, it's lower class. Now, another thing, Sarge, that you and I are going to agree on.
Berkeley's a college town, man. What are you talking about? It's
college town.
It's poverty.
Sarge.
Calm it down, man. University of
encampments everywhere.
Berkeley.
Sarge.
They got encampments everywhere,
There ain't no
Sarge.
college down that's lower
Sarge.
class and income
Sarge.
anyway.
Sarge. They have encampments
Name one.
everywhere.
There isn't any.
Sarge.
They
It's
have
an insane
encampments
asylum.
everywhere.
Well, I agree with you there, but you characterize it as poor.
Sarge. It's not
Its average income, median income in Berkeley is well above the national average. It has been for quite some time.
Sarge. The only ones making money in Berkeley are visiting college professors, dignitaries, and what have you. And they got lovely hillside homes up there in the Oakland Hills, okay? But Sarge, you walk down the streets of Berkeley, let me tell you what you're going to see. Every other 5 feet is some son of a bitch loaded with his mangy dog, funky and nasty, talking about, do you got a little change? Okay, Sarge. One day in Berkeley, right by the Berkeley BART station,
about to go on the overtime.
I'm seeing this brother. Okay, please don't nobody hang on. Okay. Now, I'm going right there, and I told you this here, Brother Che, where I got off there, man, at the University BART station, Bay Area Rapid Transit District. There's a brother sitting there, you know, with copper. And so I says, hey, man, what's up with the copper? So me and the brother, you know, we having a reconnection, as Dr. Marimba Ani had stated. The reconnection is going to be painful. So the gentleman was explaining to me about how the copper, you know, helps with pain and things of that. Now, this white fella, Sarge, is going to butt into the conversation. And I simply told him and informed him, I said, excuse me, sir, this is a conversation of one African to another. How could it possibly interest you? So, you know what he did, Sarge? And wisely so. He packed up his shit and he got the fuck on, okay? Because he probably thought, and his warped imagination, that I will put down the brother from the motherland and engage in conversation with him when I'm trying to make a reconnection of our culture in the diaspora, as Dr. Marimba Ani has stated in her writing called the Urugu. And as you know, that Dr. Marimba Ani was a student of the one and only great Dr. John Henry Clark. And as Dr. John Henry Clark had stated, all others he teach, he only debates with his equals. Understand? Okay. Now, I hated to tell the white dude this, but he was totally out of line. Totally. I mean, to quote the words of Joe Pesci in Goodfellas, what the fucking kind of impression that I gave him to make him think that he can butt into my business? Can't hear you, son.
I refuse to answer on the grounds of my ten incriminating.
Okay, Sarge, okay, that's wonderful. That is a great answer, Sarge, is because that hypocritical Constitution says that you have a right not to incriminate. But riddle me this here, though, Sarge. Why is it when your boy there, old Sam Giancana, up there in Crook County, had invoked it the same right, and they told Sam Giancana that if he doesn't talk, that they was going to hit him with some more time. And Sam Giancana said that he doesn't want to testify. And then, and I think they put Giancana in jail or something like that, held him in contempt. And then, of course, you know, Giancana's demise. You see what I mean? But Sarge, these 90 seconds are very, very selective about who they want to grant these quote-unquote immunities to, okay? And we as a people, Sarge, we got to become self-sufficient because this all-inclusive shit, Sarge, face it, it did not work, man. It did not work. It did not work, Sarge. I yield, Sarge. Now, what's on your mind?
60 seconds.
Well, you know, I'm definitely not sharing your views on the Constitution. Now, you know that.
Right.
You know
It's a hypocritical document. And then keep in mind, Sarge, when our ancestors was on the plantation, okay, here's my closing statement, and we're going to let Sarge have the last word. Okay, Sarge, when our ancestors were being brutalized down there on them plantations from Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, North, South Carolina, and one of them came up and said, hey, man, let's escape from this evil master. Let's run away. You had so many of them says, man, you must be crazy. What's better than what we got here?
10 seconds.
False. We sick. That's sad, Sarge. That is sad. But none of these so-called black scholars, okay, like Kamala, like
She's
Uncle
not
Tim
black.
Sky.
God damn it, Shabaka, she's not black. The woman is not black.
Okay, well then let's say, Brother Chase, some of her sorority sisters who are, okay, don't address this issue, Sarge. Now, is this selective amnesia, or as Brother Che had stated so well, the Stockholm Syndrome, like Patty Hearst, who's a fucking murderer, okay? You see what I'm saying? Was subjugated to, Sarge? I can't hear you, Sarge.
Patty Hearst is a murderer?
Yeah, Patty Hearst is a murderer. Look at the Hibernia bank robbery in San Francisco, Sarge.
They charge her with being accessory to murder. Yeah. There's no evidence that she did anything direct.
Sarge. Oh,
my Lord.
In the great state of California, ran by old raggedy gruesome Newsom now. If you're in the process of committing a felony and somebody drops dead, okay, rather if they had to go shit and couldn't, rather if they had a heart attack, right, Sarge, you are automatically under the hypocritical California state constitution are charged with murder in the first degree, Sarge. That is a fact. And she wasn't. So then you had the old peanut farmer. When her case came up before him, he gave her a full pardon, Sarge. A full pardon.
Jimmy Carter gave her a pardon.
As you know, Sarge, when they had the shootout over there for 54th and Compton with the SLA, Sarge, an assistant chief who was in charge of that operation by the name of Dale Gates, okay, they blew up the house. They fixed the paperwork that said that Brown inadvertently struck the cache of ammunition, and this is what caused the explosion. Sarge, they bombed that place, man. Okay, just like Wilson Good did the Move House, just like what they did in Tulsa in 1921, where they bombed it. You know what I'm saying? Then you had old Thomas Noguchi, one of the greatest coroners to me of all time, because Noguchi got up there and told the truth. You see what I'm saying? Just like his colleague there said in the case of the People versus Oracle, James Simpson, about this evidence that was planted by Furman. Something not right. And that's my close.
All right, Sarge, what's your closest statement?
All right, Sarge.
Okay. Sounds very interesting, but something not right, something wrong with that statement.
Sarge, let me tell you something about the city of Los Angeles. The Los Angeles County Sheriffs will tell you. The Los Angeles Police Department will tell you, Sarge. This is Los Angeles, and anything can happen there at any given time. And they do mean anything, Sarge. Oh, and by the way, Sarge, I'm waiting for them to get old Harvey Weinstein up there, man, in the California court system to give that sick, perverted son of a raping bastard some more time in jail.
Which one?
Oh, Harvey Weinstein.
What about it?
Oh, yeah, well, Harvey Weinstein, man, what is he charged with there, Brother Che? Rape, I believe it is.
I think he just got one of his sentences thrown out or reduced.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, no, they did. They did throw out one.
They did, but then they just convicted him of some more stuff, Sarge. I just say.
Okay, now is that his case in New York or his case in California?
I think it's the one in California. Let me check on that. I did know that the other day.
Now, also too, while Sarge does his research.
Oh my God!
Let's see.
Let's keep dragging the show on. You said you were gonna give your closing statement.
Yeah, his 2020 rape conviction was overturned.
Yeah, that one was overturned.
In what state?
California.
Oh, okay. Then that means that somebody got bought off. Typical A1 California politics.
No. Actually, no. Well, Gavin Newsom said he's a rapist. According to CBS report, New York's highest court overturned Weinstein's conviction on Thursday and ordered a new trial. The New York Court of Appeals said the judge in the Weinstein case made several improper rulings, preventing him from getting a fair trial. And And Jennifer Seibel, Newsom's wife, testified in a trial in Los Angeles in 2022 that Weinstein raped her in a hotel room in 2005.
Okay. All right. Okay, that sounds like California's kangaroo courts. Okay.
Well, that was the one he was tried in California. The one in New York, the one that overturned.
Okay, well, you know, your man Trump is from New York. You know what I'm saying? You know, it sounds like they got certain traditions.
No,
like
hey, look, hot off the presses. Listen, Harvey Weinstein indicted on new sexual assault allegations in New York.
Okay, Brother Che, you're breaking up again.
Oh my God. Harvey Weinstein indicted on new sexual assault charges or allegations in New York.
Okay, so you're saying that he was cleared or convicted?
A Manhattan grand jury has indicted Harvey Weinstein in connection to new sexual assault charges. Okay,
so as we all know what an indictment is that they got enough evidence to charge you with a crime and then you go to trial. Like when you go through these kangaroo courts, you got the arraignment there to let you know what you're being charged with, to see if they got enough evidence to indict your ass. The indictment is where you're formally charged by the kangaroo court, and then you go to a prefixed trial. You know, that is if you got money and prestige and stuff like that, because, you know, like was coming out with P. Diddy, with those Hollywood Hill parties, the judges are there, scholars are there, Oprah was there, you know, all kind of sick, crooked shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that sounds like the American justice system that is up for sale. You know what I'm saying? The American judicial system is nothing more than a prostitute, and it performs the services for the highest bidder. And that's my closing.
All right, Sarge,
what's your closing? Looks like you're very impressed by our system of jurisprudence.
Sarge, the trial is out of order. The judge is out of order. The whole system is out of order, Sarge. Check out Al Pacino and Injustice for All. I mean, Al Pacino said it best. He said it best.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Sarge, what is your closing statement? Because we're in overtime.
Okay, I'm done.
Go ahead, Sarge. What's your closing statement?
Oh, well, you just caused me to surrender with your ineluctable logic. I guess I haven't had any response to that.
What's Sarge? You're making a final closing comment.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna.
It sounds like, you know, today I think I will concede all of your points to you.
Wow.
I'm going to give you a present.
That's a first.
Okay, well, Sarge, there is no dispute with undisputed truth. And what I've spoke about the American judicial system and the American social order, Sarge, was disputed truth. Just like the sun is shining out here in Nevada, Sarge. I'm not going to sit out there and say it's snowing when it's clearly, 91 plus degrees. Okay?
It makes sense.
By the way, I got to drive 50 miles to California to go see if my lottery tickets won. Shit, hopefully I'm a damn millionaire not knowing it yet, but I know that's wishful thinking. But you can't win unless you play, and you don't know if you won unless you check your lottery tickets and what have you.
All right, and on that note, I'm going to wrap the show up now.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for tuning in to this Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase Presidential Debate Edition. This was Season 9, Episode 24 of Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase. And we wanted to hear from you cop molosexuals, you cop molest supporters, but we just heard from our main dump supporter, Sarge, the one and only Sarge.
Right.
So
that's right.
Join us tomorrow for Frontline Black News, Season 4, Episode 24, Part 1. So peace, love, light, reparations, and separations, and Black empowerment. Shane Crewman, Jesse Paris, Colorado State House of Representative candidate on the ballot for the state of Colorado, signing out from the Mile High Income and Illegal Migrant Flooded City. What you want to go out with, Shabaka? Milestones, shotgun, ship ahoy.
Okay, Brother Trey. Let's go out with Shotgun, which is a tribute to Dr. Huey Percy Newton for ensuring our safety in the city of Oakland in the year 1966.
Thank y'all for tuning in to Season 9, Episode 24 of Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase. Frontline Black News. Black News on YouTube and Facebook. Peace, love, light, reparations, and separations, and Black empowerment. Starting out from the Mile High Income City. City.